Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well, hope you've all had a great week, and thank you for coming back and watching this week's project. If this is your first time to the channel, then welcome, and I hope you really enjoy the project that you're about to see. If you do, then please like and share, and also subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. So anyway, as you may or may not know, this weekend is Maker Central at Birmingham at the NEC. Maker Central is an event hosted by Nick Zamitti of NZ Wood Turnham. If you haven't seen Nick's work, then you should really go pop over and see his channel, because he's got a wild imagination, Nick has, but he really makes some really cool stuff. And it's not just turning. He restores stuff as well and makes stuff into lamps. He makes some really nice stuff, Nick does. I mean, I've been watching Nick now for two and a half years, and he's one of the guys that inspired me to start this hobby up. So really, you need to go and check him out, and you won't regret it. So anyway, Nick hosts this Maker Central, and he has a chosen charity every year, and this year is the RSPCC. Royal Society of Protection and Cruelty to Children, which is a great charity. There are a lot of unfortunate children out there, and we all need to try and do our bit to help the less fortunate than what we are. We all have it hard sometimes, but there's always someone out there a little bit worse off than what we are. So I like to think that I'm trying to do something to help others. So I messaged Nick and asked him if I could donate something for him to put into one of his raffles. He's doing a raffle on the Saturday, I believe, and also the Sunday, and some of the proceeds are going to charity. So I asked if I could donate, and he said yes, not a problem. So I was racking my brain of what I could do. I wanted something that was unusual, something that was associated with Maker Central. And I came up with several different ideas, and after thinking about it, which doesn't take very long because, you know, the old molecules ain't very big, I came up with this. I came up with the idea of this. The reason being, because it's obviously got what it is all about on the front of it, and it represents that weekend, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make something that represented that weekend. So whoever wins this on the raffle, and if you're watching this video, I really do hope that you are very happy with this as a prize, because I've enjoyed making it, and to be honest, once I made it, I didn't really want to give it away, but I will give it away. I will donate it like I said I would, because that's what I want it to go to a good cause. So, but there is a little bit of a twist with it that you'll have to watch the video to find out what the twist is. So yeah, you're gonna have to watch it. So anyway, guys, if you're coming to Maker Central and you see me wandering around, tap me on the shoulder and we'll have a chat. I would love to meet some of the people who support me, and thank you personally for spit it out, Stephen, for the support you give me. So anyway, the time you see this video, this plaque will be on its way to Birmingham to be raffled off for helping the children who really need it. So let's hope we raise lots of money for the RSPCC. So anyway, this is how I made the plaque, the Maker Central plaque. I hope you really enjoy it, and thanks very much for watching. So what I've done is I have given it 2 coats of sand and seal. I've given it 1 coat, left it for an hour to dry. I'll just give it another coat, so I'll leave it overnight to dry, and then I'll come back and pour the resin in it. But I don't know whether to do the resin clear or a translucent colour, so I don't know. I'll sleep on it and I'll see you guys in the morning. Right, we have got just about 2 weeks left before Maker Central, and I want to get this finished, so this video goes out the Friday before Maker Central. So I need to get this done. The face is all finished, it's turned, polished, sanded and polished out, so I'm happy with that. I need to now flip it and get the back hollowed out so I can get the LEDs in the back to illuminate out. So the problem I had was how I was going to re-hold it to hollow the back out once I'd done the front. So my wife, for my birthday, bought me some remounting jaws. Haven't used them yet, so this will be their maiden voyage. So hopefully they'll work and they won't cause any damage to the front. But what I was thinking was I'm going to cut a piece of rubber so this doesn't actually contact the back of the jaws, just in case it does slip. So I'll get the jaws changed and we'll see how we go from there. Starting to wonder whether I'm ever going to hit the resin. Must be getting close because I set the resin down 15mm, so yeah, we must be getting close. Got the resin peeping through, so at least we know we're getting there. You just got to be careful now we don't knock it out. Right, I think we are there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand it up, and depending on how it sands I may just mix up a little bit of resin and just put a bit of resin on there, but I'm going to get it sanded up first and then see how it goes, because I've got a couple where the resin has shrunk a little bit, got a couple of little gaps, so I may just put a little bit of resin in there to but we'll see. I'll get it sanded up and we'll go from there. Right, so front's all turned, all smoothed out, back all hollowed out now, and we can see the light through it. I'm not going to show you now because I want to show you at the end, but I've tried it and the light illuminates through it. So now what I need to do is I need to make the back. So I've got another piece of this timber. I decided not to put a little bit of resin in there because I think, to be honest, it hasn't actually chipped out through the front, so I'm quite happy with that. And to be honest, you're not going to see the inside, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to get another piece of this and make a thin backing plate to obviously set into there, and then that'll be the back sorted out. Then we can get the LEDs set in around the outside. And I was going to run it on a battery, but the trouble is with running it on a battery is that obviously you have to keep taking the back off all the time to replace the batteries. So I think I'm going to try and do it so it's mains operated. That's going to be the best bet, I believe. And then obviously make a little stand for it, so to sit in the bottom here, so when it sits there it's sitting upright. So right, so first things first, let's get the back made and then we can think about doing the internals. Right, so I've put my mounting plate on there, but obviously we need to change these before we can get this on. So with a little bit of magic, get the air sander on that, get it cleaned up, and I think that's twisted a little bit with the heat, but hopefully that shouldn't be too bad and that should pull back down. Right, so we have all the bits we need now. Got the back, the actual plaque itself. I was going to do just white LEDs illumination in the back, but when I did that it just obviously was one colour. So then I tried colour and it gave out several different colours which looked more effective. So what I've got is I've got a piece of red, green and blue LED strip, controller and a plug for the power supply, switch to turn it on and off, which I'll mount through the back just so that's easy to turn on and off. And then I've got a 9-volt battery to power it because the LEDs are from 6 volt up to 24 volt, I believe. Well, it doesn't say on there, but I'm almost sure up to 24 volt. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to mount my LED strip in there with the tail wire at the bottom, and then we'll mount the controller and all the other stuff onto the back plate so it doesn't intrude with the rest. So I'm going to stick this in first, as close to the edge as I can get it. So yeah, wish me luck. Right, so we've mounted all those. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the switch over here, obviously coming through that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark a little tiny hole. I'm going to drill a hole through there so I know roughly where I want it, and then that gives me somewhere to cut out for the hole. It doesn't need to be a very big hole, but obviously because I was going to cut just a hole just for the little switch to move backwards and forwards, but I don't know whether that'll look right or not. So I think I'm going to cut a hole out for the switch, obviously to sit on the outside, but I'll drill a hole through and we'll see. Could put it on there, I suppose, and then it's just slightly little. It's only just recessed a little bit, so I might just clean the edges up a little bit so that you can get your finger in there. That's better. So what I'll do now is I will fix that onto there. I think I might just glue it on actually, because if I glue it on first, then I can put a couple of screws in to hold it, and then I can line it up where I want it. Glue it there. Good old super glue, hey? What would we do without super glue? I'll just run a bead down the side as well. Right, so now we've got the switch fitted like that, so it's easy to turn on and off. I've only glued it in because it shouldn't get any real hardship. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wire the switch ready for when the connector comes for the battery, but I will test it before the connector comes, just to make sure everything's working right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the wire, the red wire there, and peel back, because the red wire's got to be looped into the switch to give us our feed, and then the black wire just continuously go to the battery. So what I will do is I will pull that apart there, ready for that to go into the switch. We will trim that back ready, like so. Trim this one back ready, like so. And then this switch, I tried the lights on this switch, so as you can see the switch has already been used, well not used, but I used it to test the lights. So it's a 3-pin switch, but the only difference between the pins are the middle one is your common, which will be the battery feed, and then the left or right one will be depending on how you want the switch, whether you want it up or down or whatever. But obviously on this it doesn't really matter, so I'm just going to go on this side because that's the nearest. So so what we need to do is get rid of the bits of wire that are soldered to it. There's one, there's two. Just get a bit of solder. Just get a bit of solder onto this and this. So what we'll do is this one will go to, I'll try and do it so you can see. You zoom in a little bit. It's a bit difficult to hold it and show it and everything else. So this one's going to go to, just bend over a little bit, this pole on this side, like that. And then this one here will be our feed from our battery, so that'll go in the middle, which is our common. We can get the stick like that. So then this will go to our battery. Obviously the neutral will go straight to the battery anyway, and then all that switch does is break the continuous feed from there to there. That's all it does. Nothing rocket science. So what we'll do is we will connect this up and we'll try. Right, so now we've got that all mounted on there. We'll just try that before we put it all together. So we'll, on these you've got a little arrow that has to line up with the arrow on the lights, because if not you won't get the positive side work. And I'm just going to use these, let me zoom you back out, it's easier we're zooming out. So I'm just going to use these jumper wires just to test this to make sure obviously it works. I don't want to wait for the bits to come in and I realise it don't work. So obviously neutral to neutral, positive to positive, so we've had some power there. So then they work with a remote with a sensor, but I'm just going to set them to a standard for me and just leave them just so they gently scroll through the colours. So it's working. So we now just got to set to what we want. We want a slow sequence through the colours, so we'll do it our slowest, and then we will just flip it over because I want to see what it looks like from the other side. Push it all together and see what it looks like. So that should scroll through the colours. What I'll do is I will, let me turn it around the right way, like that. I'll turn off the lights so that we can get a better look at it. Yeah, I like that. The good thing is with it, because I did all the letters in different colours, as the colours change, each letter is changing a different colour, which is why I decided to go with the colour and not the white, because with the white it was just the colours that I filled them in. But with this you've got loads of different colour variations, which is what I really wanted. So no, I'm happy with that. So I'll just put the lights back on. So we know how it works. We'll just test the switch on the back, if I can find it. There we go. Perfect. And I'll turn it back on. It should start back up as a program. Yep, perfect. Right, I'm really happy with that. So that is my basics done. Obviously I can't do no more now till I get my switch, the connector to the battery. So all the major work in there is done. So that's not a problem. So what we need to do now is make our stand for it. So all I'm going to do with the back of it like that, I'm just going to put a couple of screws in it to hold it all down in place, so it's easy access to take it apart and change battery if you ever need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of mahogany and I'm going to make a little stand for the bottom. So I'll go cut a piece of mahogany and then I will be back. Focus. Don't know if you can see that really with the light, but I've now got that so it's flush along the bottom there, and there's a little tiny even gap either side of that, so I'm happy with that. So what I will do is I'll just screw it in to make sure. Just zoom it back out. Make sure it's all okay. So it's all nice and tight, stands well, it's got a slight lean back, which is what I wanted. No, I'm happy with that, really happy with that. So that's all done. So what I'll do is I'll take this off and just give this a bit of a clean up. Well, not clean up, but like I'll give it a coat of Yorkshire grit and a coat of friction polish just to give it a bit of a shine. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give this another quick sand over to get any little scratches out if we've scratched it by working on it, and get it all polished up, and then I think she'll be ready to go. So yeah, no, good. If you use Yorkshire grit, guys, then these are the thing to have, because with that in there, if you drop rubbish into your Yorkshire grit. You don't waste your Yorkshire grit, you just wipe out what you want. Take the product cleaner out and clean it all out, or product saver and clean it out. If you want these product savers, you need to go over to Temple Boy Turning's website, and you can buy them directly off of his website. Definitely a must if you use Yorkshire grit. I've got that one, and then I've got one for the microfine as well, which I haven't put in yet, but I will do. I certainly will do. But no, definitely a must have, guys. I am going to put my logo in the bottom of this, my SK Krafts logo in the bottom. Only reason being is obviously we don't know who it's going to end up with, so yeah, no, I'm going to put my stamp in there, but I will show you at the end.